Good afternoon, everybody. Tile number 403. Goodness me, doesn't time fly? So, okay, what I thought we'd do today is of a single tile, but being that we've got a little bit of time over Christmas, you might want to extend this into 4 tiles or do it on a macro. We'll see how it goes and see what comes of it, shall we? So I do have a plan somewhere. Oh, there it is, all done. The first thing I want to do is I want to actually put myself a line across here, just so I've got a little bit of a diagonal to work to. And being that everything's all over the place at the minute, because I'm doing lots of prep for shows, I'm going to do freehand. Woohoo, look at this, freehand. There you go. As long as it's about right, that's absolutely fine. And then I want to give myself a nice little border. So if I want to do this so it's sort of even on both sides, I'm going to mark it. So I'm going to draw this bit first. Okay, just sort of roughing it in pencil for now. And then if I come in and actually mark that line there, then I know at the bottom here, if I mark it there, I've got the same size border all round. So let's get that put in first with, let me use another tile. There we go. Okay. Doesn't feel like Friday, does it? Do you think? Not quite sure what it feels like. It doesn't feel like Friday. Okay. So same with this one, look. Okay. So there's a border put in. So I'm going to use these 2 shapes as well. I'm going to go a little bit further in like this, but I'm not going all the way up to the edge there because I'm going to leave a bit of a gap. You see there? Because then if I do the same sort of thing here, and then join them together. So I'm going to use that as a guide. Have a look. So I'm not drawing on that line I drew there, okay? So I've got that, here we go, there we go. You see it's a little bit sort of further out than that edge, yeah? And then I'm going to do the same on this side. So again, if you want to mark it, it's going to be there, look, and there. Line those up. So again, I'm not going to go all the way to join. I'm going to go just a little way. Going to do that way as well. So we've got this kind of a double border with a little gap in between there. So let's line that up, see? And that way. Okay, so this could be 1/4. It could be at an angle. It could be one of, or just a single one. It really doesn't matter. So, okay, if we're ready, let's go for it. I want to do a bit of a curve to start with. So from here to here, a curve. Oh, I'll do with sharpening my pencil, I think. And whilst I've still got that in position, curve and do the same again. Okay, so there's that bit. So inside of this, what I want to do is I'm going to create 1, 2, 3 curves. And the same on this side. 1, 2, 3 curves. Okay, so that's where we are so far. And sort of on the edge of these, we can come in with 1, 2, 3 lines. And the same on here, like 1, 2, 3 lines. So far, so good. Okay, so I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to come back in with that pencil, but I am going to give it a bit of a sharpen first because it feels a bit like it needs it. Okay, that's better. Are we ready? So again, curve-wise, I'm going to sort of come from about here, so put a little bubble to start with. And then from there, I'm going to come around and create another curve. Not all the way to the bottom this time. Sort of about there. You see? It's a little bit sort of wider here, isn't it, than it is there. And then if I turn it round, and same again, see, pencil, bring it in. Let's have a bit of a curve going on there. See, I've sketched it a little bit more today. Let's have a little look. You see how that's a bit wider there? Because I've done it in pencil, I can come round and change it a little bit until I'm happy that the shapes on both sides are similar. Okay. Now usually I don't have a pencil rubber. Today I have 3 on the desk. Okay. Happy with that shape? Yeah, I'm happy with that shape. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to come in with pen and I'm going to put that little bobble in there and I'm going to draw that shape in. All right. I'm going to flatten it just a little bit at the bottom there. Round it goes. Sort of following it along till we get back to the top. It's like a little balloon, doesn't it? All right, let's go in a bit. So if I now draw a little line both sides of that bubble, I'm going to fill that in. And then come across as a little curve. Oh, it's got a bit of a shine on it. See? Okay. And then join that up to the top there. I'm going to put some little dots on there. I'm going to fill them in, not worrying about how big or small. Okay. So let's have a look at this then. I'm going to sort of come around. I want to create a curved line. So I'm left-handed and I'm going to curve it this way. Water bomb, yeah. If you're right-handed, you might want to curve it that way, if that makes sense. So here we go. A little curve in, and then another one, like that. Okay. And then I'm going to create a line in the middle, split it off in 2, and then again, like so. I've got these shapes. And then I'm going to come in and put another line straight through the centre. And then a little dot on the top of each one. Same there. And a little dot on the bottom of each one. Like that. So let's come in a little bit more. So I'm going to fill one with lines like so. And then next one, little lines. I'm not worried about starting in the middle with this because it doesn't matter really how many we put in. And they're also very close anyway. So, all in one go, like so. And then back out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a bit of a grid, but slightly different than we usually do, because it's going to be curved lines, and because we've got this slight shape in the middle, we've still got to maintain. Don't go too small either, you see? And then the same going the other way. You want to try and keep, if you can, sort of, I know they're going off at an angle, sort of squares, if you can. Like so. Okay. So whilst I'm just letting that sort itself out, let's get rid of this line in here. And this line here. And I want to come in and create a nice little shape on the inside of these spaces here. So bringing it round. Now when I get to here, again, I'm not going to go all the way around. I'm going to keep it so it's just like this one. And the same one here. So you see again, I'm using that tile to give me some straight edges. It's quite a distance up there, so I wanted it to be straightish. And let's come around with these. Now here, see, let's have a look at this. It's going to slightly change a bit. It's going to come in there. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. And around we go. And then these little gaps, I'm going to get a little one in there. And a little one in there. Like that. Okay. So coming in a bit. What I want to do with this is I'm going to create these little lines. So one this way. And then again. And again. And again. And I'm going to fill that last one in. Now you might find that your shapes allow you to put more in or less, whichever works. And then if you wanted to do it as a little bit of a batch, see, I've done it a little line and left a gap, because then I can come this way, a little line. And then I can, let's take that one up there, see? So you can sort of do more than one at a time, but you've just got to be careful that you remember to leave that little gap so you can fill these little shapes in. Okay. So I'm doing this top section first, so ones to start with, and then I'm coming in with extras there. You see how they start to build up quite quickly if you do it this way. Not that we're rushing in particular. See? Just makes life a little bit easier. But you've really got to focus to make sure you don't forget to leave that little gap. See? And then I can do another one. And this way you sort of get a little bit of uniformity as well, because you're following the same line as you're going around. And same this way. And it doesn't matter if you get more or less in there than me, it's just however it fills that space up. So I'm going to get this last one in probably. You see, look, each time leaving a little gap, because then filling it in. Coming this way. And what I'm going to do is fill those little squares in at the top there. And there. So they're all sort of got a little bit of a shape. Now you don't have to do this, of course, with a black pen. You can do it in any colour you prefer. So it gives you a little bit of a shape to work to, doesn't it? Okay. Possibly a little bit there. So I'm going to do the same on this bottom section. So just as before, I'm going to come in, draw my lines, leave little gaps like this. Okay. And then same with this one. Following it round. Again, just making sure before I actually draw the line that that's what I want, and I'm leaving a gap in the right place, however we want to do it. As I say, you can do one at a time if you're happy to do that, or you could draw all in pencil and then go over the bits you want with pen. There's numerous ways. So, it's kind of nice. I like this pattern. It sort of gives it that three-dimensional effect that we're looking for today. So I think one more look is probably going to be enough for me here. And that's probably it. And then again, I'm going to fill in those sections. As we go. Just taking my time there and getting them all filled in. There's always something, isn't there, about adding that black ink. It brings it to a bit more to life. Let's have a little look at what we've got so far. Okay, there's a little egg kind of decoration-y kind of shape, and let's bring some little bubbles in. Just going to do a row around the edge here. So, you know, sometimes you get a bit of a wobbly edge and you think, oh, what do I do with that? I always put a row of bubbles around it. It makes a difference. So it gives it a little bit of a framework almost. Into that. And then I'm going to go all the way around. So, you know, relax your hand a little bit. Don't let it get too stiff when you're trying to keep these all similar. Just take your time, be fine. And along we go. So you see, just along that edge. And then back down the other. And so each one meets the other, joins them together. Now don't rush them too much, try and keep them as round as you can. Now up here, because there's only a small section, I'm going to fill it in with those bubbles. And then on this side, I'm going to do around. There's not going to be much space in the middle, but that doesn't matter. I'm still going to do it. Around we go. And the same onto this one here. Sort of fill in. I can't remember actually the last time we did a row of bubbles. I think it's been a little while. I'm actually doing it on the inside of a shape. I don't know when we last did this. I don't always look back immediately and you know, use them as inspiration. I think I draw what comes to mind for that day or whatever's happening, that kind of thing. But you know, it varies. So I can remember some tiles I remember and the dates, but others. That's why I keep them together, then I know what I've done when. And if we're not sure, there's always the YouTube, because Chris very kindly puts a little thumbnail of the tile on there so we can see what it is. There we go. So I'm going to fill these gaps in now, and I'm going to come with bubbles, but I want them to be bigger, like so. So start with the large ones. Don't think you've got to cluster them all, you know, you can spread them out a little bit. And then when you start to run out of space, you can go in and draw them a little bit smaller. See down there, they're going to follow that line around. Here look kind of small. And then if you get any gaps that are too small, then of course, fill them in with a bit of ink. And same here. So, you know, you don't want to go too small if you can help it. And any gaps, fill in with a bit of ink. Let's have a look at that. You see? And of course, they don't have to be perfectly round. But Just take your time with them, you'll get there. You see now I'm coming in and filling those little spaces in. And then going as big as I can. And then filling gaps in. So this bit here, like it's going to have just a row of bubbles. All the way up to the bottom there. And I'm going to do the same with this one. So again, start quite large and work your way around. Quite a few going on in there, look. And there. You don't have to join them all together, so you can then come around and fill the gaps in afterwards. You don't want to go too small until you have to. There you go, see, it's how it works. And then a few more to there. Just getting into those little marks there. Okay, so I've left them large because what I want to do, I'm going to come in a little bit bigger. I want to come in and put a little belt in the middle there, like that. And then on either side, I'm going to put a thinner line, leaving that little gap in the middle. And then sort of turning them round as I go, creating these little designs and these little shapes there. This is why I kept them quite large, because I want to do this little pattern in them. It can get quite tricky if you go a bit too small. So we're only going to do this in the larger ones. Let's have a little look at that. You see? And I'm turning it round sort of each time and coming at it from a different sort of angle. It just gives it a little bit of movement in there. Okay, so this one, look, I'll do this way. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to look at those that are quite large. See this one here? I'll do one there. But the rest I'm not going to. And I come to this one. I'm just looking, see this, it's not quite as round as I'd like, so I can change that shape a little bit and then bring that in. Like that. And another one. And sort of, you know, work your way around, all sort of in slightly different angles. I know, Rosa, remember that. I kind of like it this way though, because instead of having a white highlight straight through the middle, you can sort of see the paper behind, so it's a more subtle highlight, I think. And then, you know, if you've not really got a white pen handy, this is brilliant as well. But I tend to do them this way, I think, all the time now. It's one of those things I think that I've adopted. But if you want to go straight across and put a white pen line through the middle, you can do that. That'll give you a very similar effect. Okay, so that's that little bit. I'm going to come in, I'm going to thicken up that line there, just that line. Okay, so let's have a look at this bit here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and create some, create a little shape. It's almost like a little puddle I used to draw. And then I'm going to come quite close up to it and create another. Now I'm going to quite close up again, but this time you see, because I'm on the end, I'm going to continue it off. So if I wanted to put another tile next to it, see here, I could actually continue that design so it doesn't look like it's ended and started. And of course this would make a nice little holly leaf on that side. So got a little gap there, so I can put a little one in. They don't all have to be large. It's sort of following the idea around a little bit. Let's do another one. So you see that one, like it's gonna sort of go, gonna fill that space with that one. So it's almost like you're drawing large pieces, but then if you've got gaps, you can put small. Oh, thank you, Maureen. I think it would look quite nice, wouldn't it? That's why I thought I'd give you something that's you can create a little bit bigger if you want to. Because of course next week it's Christmas week, so there's not going to be any tiles next week. So you'll be able to catch up on any that you've not done. You'll be able to do this one if you want to. There's a bit bigger. You can do, you can finish the Advent tile off. Now, I fully intend to finish off the Craft Ember one. I'll put some little dots in here, see? So there's, you know, lots of things that you can be doing, and then we can pick up again the following week. Okay, so I've got all these little shapes in. So what I want to do in between the shapes, I'm going to come up a little bit more. And I'm going to sort of start with a bit of a curve, and it's going to come. See, it's gone underneath, and it's just staying within those shapes. So it's almost like something's going underneath. And that's going to sort of go off in there. And then carry it on along those bits there. And the same here, see, I can follow this line on and bring it into there. And this one. So it's like a continuous sort of line going on underneath. Just do one at a time though, see. So this one, look, you can take into there. And this one into there. Carry this one on. So you're just sort of like working in the shapes and not working on the top section. I've gone quite straight now, but that's okay. All right. Oh, Wendy, why not start on 10s? Do, no, 150, 160, 170, or 150, 200, 250. Please never think you've got to start from the beginning or you've got to do everyone. You know, if that's something that you want to do eventually, then, you know, jump first. Do them in 10s or 20s or 25s or 50s, and then, you know, fill the others in as and when. It's not a problem. Not a problem. They're all there. They're not going anywhere. Okay. So, same sort of thing in all of those. It's quite a heavy sort of design today in a sense. So, I think we should get a little bit of graphite on it. Of course, you could use colour if you want to. I'm going to go with the graphite, I think. First things first then, I'm going to start with this middle little kind of a bauble shape. I didn't want to do a sort of a circular shape. I think that's what it is. I wanted to change it a little bit. So you've got a slightly different shape. So you see I've put my pencil on the lines this way. And put the pencil on the lines this way. Okay, I've not been too neat there. And, you know, don't be too shy with it. You get some pencil in. And then I'm going to put some here and some here as well. And I'm going to add a little bit onto those plain shapes there. Okay. So as we come to this one, I want to add a little bit of pencil to either side of that bubble. Let's have a look. Sorry for the sheen. I've had the light on all day. It's really dark outside, so I'm working on a few bits and pieces. So if I've got large bubbles like this, I can add a little bit of a highlight in. If they're really small, don't worry about it. Oh, Wendy, that'd be nice. Why not do one a day then? You know, sort of set yourself a pace rather than look at it that you've got a whole load to do. Or, you know, set it up where you think, well, I'm going to do one a day, and that'll help you. That'll start clearing them up, because that'll give you an extra 5 a week if you're doing the tiles, you know, every day, Tuesdays and Fridays as we do them. So 5 a week, so that's 20 a month. So it's 40 over 2 months, that's 60 over 3 months. So yeah, you could work it that way. Okay, let's have a little look. Oh, doesn't want to zoom, there you go. So I've added some there, and I've added some little highlights just on the bubbles that are large enough to do so. So then let's have a look at our little bits of sort of holly. So I'm going to come sort of up the edge and then out onto these lines that I've put in. Same on this one. The edge and out on the lines. And then looking at our shapes here, the first thing I want to do is simply put some pencil on that sort of line there. So it's that first border line we did, and there. And I rose a retreat. So I'm going to now choose, I've got like two sort of sides. I've got the inner and then this one. I'm going to follow that all the way around. Do the same, just on this row though, like that. Okay. So then mirror image, so it'd be that one, and that one. That one, and that one. See? All the way up. It'd be nice to do a retreat, wouldn't it? We need to find a nice hotel with a nice little conference centre where we could spend, I don't know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh, sorry, Wendy. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where we just all tangle. Because of course it doesn't have to just be me now. We've got teachers out there that can teach Sanntangle. So, you know, we could perhaps get together and all do a little bit, do a couple of sessions and things. Something to think about, isn't it? Okay. There we are. So that one. Oh, Joy, a sneak peek for Monday. Oh, no, I don't know. Because Monday's a busy day. Because there's Sewing Street and Hobby Maker. Oh, I've not even put any... Oh, what am I doing? Well, Leslie's not here though, is she? I don't know. I can show you bits of things. But everything is... When I say everything is all over the place, everything's all over the place. Because at the moment, I'm in the process of finishing off some samples and bits and pieces for Sewing Street, and fabric ends up everywhere, and it's a quilt, Benji's lying on it, and I'm trying to stitch it. So it's a bit crazy. All right. Let's do this first. Come on now, concentrate. Concentrate. Oh, yeah. So, adding some shadow into there. Now again, you can use colour for this if you want to. Okay, into here. And let's soften these off as we go. Okay. See how that sort of all just kind of works its way around. To this one. Oh, I think you'll be able to watch the shows back. They're on catch up for 7 days. Okay, so I'm just going to rub out that line there. I don't want that line anymore. No, that one. And soften all this off. And this one. Okay, let's have a little look at what we've got. So, let's just take that sheen off a little bit. So we've got quite a nice little bauble going on there, a little bit of holly, some baubles in the background. I think what we do need to do, back in with a pencil. You see where we've done these bubbles? I'm going to come in and I'm going to add some pencil. Now don't be too shy with it. I'm going to really go for it. Fill them in. Okay. All the way around. I'm just going to remove any little bits of pencil that have found their way into that line. We don't want that. The same with this one. Okay. Really go for it. Okay. So, a little bit softening coming off. There we go. I'm not going to do too much because, of course, we still want to see those little baubles on the inside. Okay. Let's have a little look at that. Look at that. Look at the difference that makes. So I think, see this line here? It needs a little bit more darkness. So I'm just going to be putting a bit more in there. And there. Okay. Just gently soften. Okay, so see, that's better. Look at that. That's what we wanted. Okay. I think actually we could probably do a similar thing here too. And then have those leaves slightly inside. And along there. Okay. And a little up there. There we go. See, look at the difference that makes. Loving that. Okay, so signature, all that needs. I'm going to put one sort of down here. Just my little initials there. And I shall see if I can get to my little product box. There's quite a few different bits. But yeah, I think a bit of colour there would look quite nice. But I've got a lot of sewing gear out at the minute and nothing much to colour with.